Hey everybody, Thane here from the Gym-Base Alliance, bringing you another One Piece Bounty Rush video. So in today's video, we're going to be taking a look at these balance adjustments. We got a few good ones, I got a few meh ones, but they're always interesting. I love when buffs come out because I always think they're needed, but I never think that they choose the right characters, but still, let's give it a shot. If I'm not as animated as I normally am, it's 1:49 in the morning. That's too damn early or late, I guess. But let's take a look at these buffs. So the first thing that they will be coming in 1 week on the 16th, which is great. There's a few characters, Shanks, Blackbeard, Sanji, Reiju, who else is there? Monet, Frankie, and Mr. 3, the most popular one ever. I honestly think that they chose Mr. 3 probably because they're like, they see these hacker numbers with Mr. 3 with all these people that are trying to get all these points, and they're like, oh wow, he's such a popular unit, let's buff him. Okay, let's see. For Shanks, they just made, these are just skills, and then they also do traits as well. So Shanks, it's skill 1 and skill 2 is easier to land. I'm curious to see what that is. I wouldn't be surprised if they make it just quicker, honestly. Quicker and probably weirder, even more hitboxes. Let's see. Marshall D Teach, skill 2, they made it 3 seconds quicker. That means absolutely nothing. And skill 1 and skill 2 is adjusted easier to land. Curious what that is. This is. Sanji, both skills easier to land. That's actually kind of big for Sanji because he has such tracking problems. So, and let's see if the skill 1 easier to land, if that actually increases his step. We'll take a note of that. Reiju, let's see, her skill attack does 182. That is her invincibility skill. Both skills easier to land, and it looks like max 3 consecutive hits. I'm almost pretty sure that it's her invincibility skill, but I could be wrong. General Frankie, skill 2, looks like he gets a defense reduction when he hits you, and it's reduced by 20%. That's kind of cool, but yeah. Let's see, Mr. 3, he gets skill 1, attack reduced by 20%, and skill 2, defense increased by 20%. That's kind of good. And then Monet, she gets 150% of her shield. I always thought that was weird when it was only 120%. I got that she was a step up, but still, every other character has 150%, so why not her? Okay, Shanks, let's go. We're going to go with just like what the trait is before, and I'll kind of go in depth. So he got a new character trait, which is when the enemy has inflicted you with the status effect, inflict self with nullify stagger for 10 seconds. And defense boosted by 50% for 5 seconds. That's pretty big because there is so much status effect. So they're probably looking at Big Mom in the meta, this red defender who doesn't really have... She's got counters like EX Kaido for sure, but she's still living a really long time. And because every single one of her skill does give a status effect, she's just going to make this EX Shanks very, very bulky with 50% defense. And hopefully he'll be able to like hit her for a little harder. Let's see. Before Shanks, after KOing an enemy, his skill 1 cooldown was 50%. And he also got a defense increase of 30% for 10 seconds, but now it's changed to 20%. He used to have, when their HP was 70%, changed down to stagger. He also now just reduces... he's going to be just a little more tanky, reduces damage by 30%, and still change down to stagger. And then you got a few. Okay, after KOing an enemy, he's increasing his attack by 25% instead of 20%. Which is big, and he also recovers HP by 30%. That's actually kind of big because anytime he got kills before, he still couldn't really stay on the battlefield for that long, but now, hopefully, he can zone a little bit better. Let's see. When attacking, before it was increased damage to attackers by 30%, and now it's just when attacking attackers increased by 30%, but also he gets more skill 1 cooldown. So that's going to be big if he's definitely like pushing more and attackers trying to head him on, he's going to be whipping out that counter a lot more. And this one, instead of when your HP is 50% or more, they dropped it to 30%. He's going to be reducing critical damage, which is important but not terrible. And then also, which is really important, is he's going to be staying on the field. Blackbeard, let's see. Anytime he's attacking a power user, he's going to be doing an insane amount of damage, 30%. I know my Jinbei does a huge amount of damage to power users, which means that Blackbeard is just going to be even better now. I really think I'm going to see a lot of Blackbeard from this. When you're downed, your attack is boosted by 30%, which is important. But if you also see this, he also recovers HP by 15%. That's ginormous. I really, really love that. And you could pair it with that page 1 medal, which I think you give cooldown when you are downed. That's really interesting if you want skill 2 cooldown. Let's see, after KOing an enemy, recover HP by 15%. And after KOing an enemy, reduce the cooldown time of skill 1 by 30% and reduce HP by 15%. I think you're going to see a lot more Blackbeard. I'm sure Mambo is really excited. Honestly, I think that they buffed these two characters specifically so that when they do release them constantly, that I wondered if they they noticed that their sales were dropping for these EXs, and they were like, oh shit, we gotta buff them. Okay. Sanji, wedding Sanji. Hopefully we can see more of him. I'm still not quite sure. He does play niche on any runner that hops gaps, does pretty well on these niche maps like Dressrosa, so he could be good. Let's see. When an ally from your team is KO'd, you get attack increased by 30% for 20 seconds, which is a long time. And you also reduce the cooldown time of skill 2 by 15%. That is your, you jump and you do like a 360 flip kick. It does a pretty good amount of damage. And also when you use skill 1, inflict yourself with Nullify Stagger for 10 seconds. And your defense is increased by 30%. That's really big, especially if maybe you use it and you go for like a last second cap. I think that's really, really important because you'll be going to be nullifying Stagger that time. Let's see. When your HP is above 70%, you boost cap speed by 50%, and you also reduce damage by 30%. That's nice. That's going to keep you on the field a little longer. And when you capture the treasure of skill 1, skill 1's time is by 50%. So pretty good. So he's going to be flying around. I still think that it's not going to change him all too much. Unless they give him a buff in terms of like how far that skill 1 travels, but I'm not quite sure it is. Reiju, she looks pretty interesting. She now gets a defensive shield, which, as you know, with Uta, it's amazing. With Runner Sanji, it's Soba Mask, it's pretty good. But yeah, it's gonna stagger you if they attack you. But that's it. She gets a shield, which is cool. But I don't think it's going to make her broken by any means. This one I'm very interested in, which is Frankie, because you still see him every now and then, but not anymore. I do love that he got a buff. So when attacked by an enemy, 100% chance to increase attack of skill 1 by 20%. So they only have to hit you 5 times now, and that your skill 1 is going to be up by 100%. That's huge. Also, when attacking an enemy with skill 1, it's 100% damage up to 20,000. It used to only be 50% recovery of damage given up to 15,000. So now that's 20k. He could be pretty much healing all the way to the max, which is insane. And when you're downed, it used to be reduced the cooldown time of skill 1 by 15%, and now it's 30. He's going to be really, really tanky, especially because he does have a good amount of damage reduction when he has full health, and so he's just going to keep getting that skill 1, keep blasting people away. It's nice. Mr. 3, I don't really care all that much, but we're going to go over it. So when dealing damage 3 times in 10 seconds, your enemy speed is reduced by 10% for 20 seconds instead of 10. This also is when reducing an enemy's parameters, reduce the cooldown time of skill 1 and skill 2 by 10%, which is cool. When your team has less treasure secured, increase treasure gauge recovery amount, and boost the cooldown skill of skill 1 by 50%. That's really big. That's your wall. That's your bread and butter. I wish there were more treasures because... Well, I guess no. I guess it makes sense. Just because if you're down 2-3, you want to hold your treasures, which is big. Skill 2, When your HP is more than 50%, reduce damage by 30%. So I think he has 30% in his treasure, so he's gonna have 60%. He's pretty good, but I still don't think he's gonna be useful. I just think that you're just gonna see honestly more Mr. 3 hackers, and it's gonna be really annoying. The only thing that I will say that is could be good regarding hackers is that I just saw a video regarding hackers, and they finally hit the Japanese server. That's so big because now Bandai is going to be like, oh wait, what is this? They're really going to crack down. I really do actually think they're going to crack down. Obviously, hackers are going to keep evolving. They're going to keep finding new ways to hack. But I think if the Japanese server complains, they're going to be really pushed to start making changes. Okay, Monet. Let's see. When attack an enemy with the normal attack, 5% chance to inflict freeze, which is cool. Because she does hit a few times on her normals. When in the area around your captured treasure, reduce damage by 30%, and boost the cooldown of skill 2 by 50%. That's pretty big. The one thing I don't love about skill 2, I'm trying to think, and I don't remember. I could be wrong, but I think skill 2 is her knockback attack, and if that is, I never liked that skill because it gets you off the treasure, which sucks. But still, it does a good amount of damage, even though she doesn't have a lot of damage. When dealing damage 5 times in 10 seconds, which her normal attacks, so I think you literally have to hit them twice with your normal attacks. It'll happen. You boost damage by 30% for 10 seconds, and you reduce the cooldown of skill 1 by 15%. Yeah. Skill 1 is definitely your wall for sure. This is also when attacking enemy afflicted with freeze, remove enemy's attack increase. Big. And it looks like parameter adjustments increase attack, HP, and defense. With Reiju, I'm going to be curious to see what that is like. Nothing regarding hackers, of course. I'll quickly go over these medals, see if they're good at all. Lucky Fellow, when your allies are near the treasure area where you're at, boost the cooldown reduction of skill 1 by 13%. So in Whole Cake, that's okay. Nothing crazy. This one is when your allies are not near the treasure area where you're at, boost the cooldown reduction of skill 2 by 10%. I would like it more. Skill 2 though, I like Bug Bomb Pirates tag. It could be good, but it's nothing. There are better medals, honestly. There are better medals than that for sure, usually with like the smoothie things. There's also a new unit regarding pudding. I'll definitely get you gameplay for that. And until next time, peace.